Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is July 2nd, 2023. We are in the Old Testament, and we are going to read from Deuteronomy 34. We're going to finish off Deuteronomy today. All right. Well, things to keep in mind here. One of the first things you're probably going to notice is Moses dies about halfway through this chapter. So if Moses wrote the chapter, how does it continue after he dies? Well, most likely explanation is it's somebody else had a hand in the book. Now, does that mean Moses didn't write it? Not necessarily. Moses probably didn't write a book. Moses just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. Somewhere 500, 600 BC, someone decided, hey, let's take all these writings and combine it into these and make it into 5 books that we can understand and group them together. And that's probably what happened. And as that person put them together, added some little comments, as it is to this day, and then Moses died. So that's most likely the explanation here. Got another explanation? By all means, nobody knows for sure, so it's up to you to decide what you want. Does it really matter? Well, everything is consistent in here. Everything in the first 5 books matches everything in the last 5 books. So God wanted it there. That's good enough for me. Hopefully it's good enough for you. So with that being said, we're just going to read Deuteronomy chapter 34, in which Moses goes up on the mountain. God shows him the promised land that he's not going to let him have. Says, there you go. Moses, your days are done. Moses dies and God himself buries him. So yeah, Moses didn't get to go into the promised land, but he still enjoyed that relationship like no other person until you get to Jesus, possibly Elijah. So let's go ahead and we're going to read Deuteronomy chapter 34. Then Moses went up from the plains of Moab to Mount Nebo, to that top of Pisgah, which is across from Jericho. And the Lord showed him all the land of Gilead as far as Dan, all Naphtali and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Judah as far as the western sea, the south and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees as far as Zoar. Then the Lord said to him, this is the land of which I swore to give Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, saying, I will give it to your descendants. I have caused you to see it with your eyes, but you shall not cross over there. So Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab according to the word of the Lord, and he buried him in a valley in the land of Moab opposite Beth Peor, but no one knows his grave to this day. Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were not dim, nor his natural vigor diminished. And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of weeping and mourning for Moses ended. Now Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands on him. So the children of Israel heeded him and did as the Lord had commanded Moses. But since then there has not arisen in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. And all the signs and wonders which the Lord sent him to do in the land of Egypt, before Pharaoh, before all his servants, and in all his land, and by all that mighty power and all the great terror which Moses performed in the sight of all Israel. May God bless the reading of his word. May God bless you. Bye.